Kamen under Den-O follows the unluckiest man in Japan, Ryoto Nagami, as he's roped into a battle between the devilish Imogen and the time-traveling Denliner. He transforms into Kamen Rider Den-O by borrowing the powers of friendly Imogen, who are collectively known as the Taros. This is one of the most popular Kamen Rider series in Japan, with the characters consistently coming back for movie events and specials almost every year. People love this show, and while I merely just like it, I can see the appeal. While Den-O could be considered a more lighthearted affair than past shows thanks to its comedic focus, it still had the hard-hitting drama Kamen Rider was known for. Besides, the kind of humor Den-O focuses on, being absurdist visuals and slapstick, I think has a wide appeal to a lot of audiences, since they're such simple yet effective forms of comedy. As for the characters making the jokes, we have our rowdy crew of Taros, with the main one being Momo Taros, who is basically the face of Den-O. He's a hot-blooded punk who may get aggressive with the other characters, but he more so does it out of love for his friends over anything malicious. Uru Taros is a suave womanizer, Kin Taros is the friendly bruiser, and Ria Taros is the funky dancer hyped up on sugar. These guys are super charming and have great banter brought to life by the talented combo of the suit actors and voice actors working together to make a bunch of memorable dorks. Then we have the human protagonist, Ryotaro, who is quite unique in that he doesn't fight by himself until the final form is introduced. You see, the four main Den-O forms are controlled by different Taroses, which culminates altogether as Climax form midway through the season. But Ryotaro isn't forced to take real action till the final form is introduced and he finally gets to control Den-O with the assistance of the Denliners. Some could see Ryotaro as a pushover, but I disagree, as his strength lies within his kind heart rather than any fighting prowess. It all fits with him being an unlucky guy dragged into this absurd battle. Also, shout out to Ryoto's actor Takeru Sato for managing to express a wide range of distinct characters while the Taros possess him. It makes sense why this guy's career would blow up after Den-O with the amount of versatile talent on display. The first half of Den-O is very simple yet cozy. You're slowly introduced to every one of the Taros and their forms, we set up some mysteries for the second half of the show, get some funny or heartwarming one-off stories in between, and while not laugh out loud funny, the show still puts a huge smile on my face. Then we have the second half of the show, and the secondary writer Kamen Rider Zeronos is introduced. Now, to be clear, I like the snarky loner Sakura Yuto and his bumbling yet polite Imogen companion Denim. They're just as charming as the rest of Den-O's cast and fit right in. However, I think Den-O's structure and enjoyability took a hit for me a few episodes after Yuto was introduced. It starts with the show doing a movie promotion, which I guess is cool that the summer movie this time around is canon, but did we really need to devote multiple episodes to the movie when half the audience is gonna skip it anyway? The plot also starts to become more of a focus instead of the day-to-day adventures. And while on paper that sounds fine, the pacing of these events and information felt awkwardly handled. Like they hold off on some very impactful information, game-changing even, till the very last episode. Why couldn't we be told that info and explore how it impacts our characters in the episodes beforehand? I know a lot of fans blame the dip of quality on the main villain Kai, but he isn't the problem, the pacing is. Kai is entertaining, he has charisma, but his plan is paced out so poorly in the show, I didn't feel like he was a major threat. Den-O's second half has a lot of great ideas and storylines on the surface, but actually watching it is a bit frustrating, especially after the simple but entertaining first half. Oddly, I think Den-O's biggest strength comes from something I don't bring up often in these analyses, the music. Kamen Rider's always had some bigger tunes, but Den-O marked an evolution for how effective the songs would be, not just as hype inserts for battles, but expanding on the show's storytelling, and that's best showcased in the various versions of Double Action. Takeru Sato sings the song, but each version he's joined by a different Imogen voice actor for the corresponding form. Double Action Sword is a more traditional Rider rock song, Rod form has a jazzier edge, Axe uses traditional Japanese instruments, while Gun form is super funky. While each version tackles a different genre of music, they all have the same basic structure that you can tell, yeah, this is the same song. Some of the lyrics overlap between versions, but a lot of them are quite distinct to match each character. Having the show's actual actors sing the background insert songs might seem cheesy to some, but I find it awesome. It adds even more charm to an already charming series, and the songs just bop either way. It paved the way for future Kamen Rider shows to have its main actors sing a few inserts to add that extra level of narrative synergy between the show's storytelling and music. Would highly recommend giving Den-O's insert songs a listen, they're just marvelous. Overall, while I might be harsh on its second half, I can see why Den-O struck a chord with audiences through its comedic stylings and heartfelt characters. It's a fun show and deserves its place as an iconic part of Kamen Rider history. The last thing I will say about Den-O for now is that Ryotaros is my favorite Taros.